Mostly because as how this video started, if someone comes to me and asks, when was the happiest moment of your life? I am immediately going to think of my time.
That is so impressive to my mind. Like the last question, what is the most happiest moment in your life? For me, I think Magandang gabi po everyone. Ako si Jisoo. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will watch Growing Up in the Philippines as a Korean. For me, I was also planned to visit Philippines 2020 summer vacation to do study English for 1 month to 2 months and then same time travel Philippines and then take a rest also, but it cancelled. So I just search it and then keep try to find a way to visit Philippines as soon as possible. Anyways, today I choose this video cause she is Korean and then she lived Philippines very long times. So I think this information very helpful and then useful to my future Philippines life. So that's why today I choose this video. So now let's go together.
Now I'd like to discuss more about why I really consider the Philippines as my second home.
Yes.
It was the winter of 2009 when I
2009.
first flew to the Philippines.
That is the first year she visited Philippines and then tried to live there.
It was a very special trip
So
for me,
cute.
as it was my first time going outside of Korea and also first time riding a plane. I was also excited to try the famous mangoes for the first time. as mangoes
2009 is her first time to try eat mangoes. That's also interesting.
were something that I only saw in pictures or on
Oh.
TV. Bacolod, a small city with a peaceful and beautiful smile. This is where I
Bacolod.
first settled in the
Ah.
Philippines. Most of my childhood memories and the happiest moments of my life lived
Yes,
there.
her face, a lot of smile faces and then looks like happy a lot.
This is how my classroom in the English Academy looked like. We called this room cubicles, where we had one-on-one class with teachers.
Oh,
The idea of
one-on-one
a teacher
teachers?
for me was someone who I had to look up to and obey to unconditionally.
Oh.
Until I met my English teachers in Bacolod. I remember that they treated me with full respect, compassion, and warmth.
Yes,
despite me
Filipinos are very kind and then try to smile always, so I think that's why she was feel like that. Cause
being a
Filipino very
foreign
kind
kid
people.
who never opened her mouth because I did not know how to speak in English fluently by then. My teachers would try hard to communicate with me by bringing up subjects or topics that I would be interested in, which was food. They would get me different Filipino
For
snacks.
me, yes, I also very interested about Filipinos food, cause I heard Filipino food is very sweet and then very delicious, a lot of different taste. So I'm so curious about Filipinos food a lot.
And candies like Milo and Max.
Oh.
Street foods like banana Q,
Oh.
buko juice, even pancit canton.
Oh,
and more.
Pancit Canton. I wanted to try that.
Some teachers would even pack some food from their home just to share it with me. By this time though, I didn't even realize that what I tried were Filipino food. Food was just food and I
Oh,
enjoyed
she
every
used her hand to eat food. Interesting. That is not hot, their hand. I'm so curious cause I never use my hand to eat like rice like that. I think that is little bit hot.
because it was just so delicious. I also enjoyed being able to swim in the sun every single day. Because me and my brother loved swimming, we even had a swimming coach. who
Yes,
taught
I
us
also
how to
like
swim.
swimming and the
yes,
swimming pool.
Because of that, I was always suffering from sunburn.
Yes, when I was young, I also my face a lot burned also, cause I also like to swim outside and then play basketball or soccer with my friend outside. So that's why I also when I was young, my skin always burned.
Food and playing, I got really close to my teachers to a point that We would hang out outside of the English Academy. One time, my mom and my teachers prepared a surprise birthday party for me
Birthday
where I had
party.
an amazing time. It was not simply about making a formal relationship with my teachers as a teacher and a student. It was about forming an intimate bond with them as human beings. There were teachers who my family was specifically close to, like nuns and yunis.
Yes.
They are basically my ates. They would sometimes invite us to their houses for parties and get-togethers. By the time I was on the top of the world when I would get invited to Nan's house on the weekend.
Their face always looks like smiling and happy.
Her family was not the most prosperous, but rich in spirit and full of
that looks like so fun.
They always welcomed me with open hearts and offered me the best things to give. Delicious food, a warm bed, and most importantly, their precious time.
Warm, I like Filipinos weather.
First Filipino parties at her house, like on Christmas or New Year's Eve. This was the time when I realized for the first time in my life why people party. Bonding, sharing good food, dancing, singing karaoke, playing games, and simply having fun together with her family and neighbors taught me what it means to feel pure happiness.
I think in Korea these days, like kind of that party when we were young, that is not normal cause all of them is very hard to study their subject and then a lot of very high class competition each other when even if they are young. So like kind of that party is very hard to open it, I guess.
With my Filipino teachers there in the most genuine way. I just saw myself fitting in the environment in the most natural way. They, my teachers, are the ones who fed my spirits as a child. They are the ones who just never really failed to make me happy. As time passed by, my family decided to move to the Philippines permanently in the year
2009 is first to visit Philippines, and then finally 2011 is the year she moved to Philippines to live there, right?
Before me and my brother's school year started, our family spent a lot of time with this Filipino family we met through our swimming coach. They were from Silay and they helped my mom a lot with all the paperwork to settle in the Philippines. Me and my brother joined our coach's swimming team representing the city of
swimming
Silay.
team?
With the family of the members of the swimming team, I made lots of unforgettable memories, traveling to different places, sharing each other's hobbies, and more. We bonded as if we were a real family.
It looks like they are very friendly each other, very good. That looks like very good neighbors.
It's also the time when I naturally learned about the major characteristics of Filipino culture. Well, not only learned, but actually practiced it as if I was already a part of the
swimming pool
society. I will never forget my first day of my school in LaSalle College. Oh, the uniform! I really hated how it looked like, but...
that is uniform! In Korea, we wear that school uniform, middle school and then high school. Some elementary school wear that uniform, but their elementary school is like kind of some special. Anyways, normally in Korea we wear like school uniforms, middle school and then high school.
I got used to it as time passed by. At first, I had a hard time at my school because my English wasn't great. But as I became good friends with my classmates, the barrier of language wasn't a problem anymore. At some point, my friends would just talk to me in Ilonggo because I was able to understand it. Also, I was a part of a wide social circle in my school because thanks to my Silay swimming team, I got to become a swimming varsity of my school. I made friends with swimmers from other schools through this opportunity, and most importantly, I met this person.
Yes. So like this, Filipino is very kind to treat her very friendly, very kind. So that's why she feels very happy moment at that time.
was my new swimming coach in LaSalle, Coach Guangko, who would always make funny jokes to me to make me feel comfortable, as I was quite scared of him at first. As I got close to him, I remember I would always compare my height with him, waiting for the day I would get taller than him. And I don't want to sugarcoat all my words and say that everything about the Philippines was about the joys of the spring. Just like every other student, I had my ups and downs in my school life. I had crushes, MUs, if you know what that is, haters. And one time I even got bullied. I can go on and on about all the elementary days drama, but I'll stop here because if then this video will last for more than an hour. After my 6th grade graduation in 2013, my family went back to Korea during our summer vacation. And this is the time when I unexpectedly began my K-pop trainee journey.
This is first time she tried to do K-pop journey.
The rest of my family went back to the Philippines in June of the same year, while I stayed in Korea with my dad. To learn more about my K-pop journey, please refer to this video over here.
This is also interesting.
In 2015, but not in Bacolod anymore. Our family moved to the Manila area. Manila was a whole new world compared to Bacolod. They spoke in Tagalog, which had a stronger tone compared to a softer Ilonggo. When I first went to Makati, I could not believe how different it was from Bacolod again.
Very different. I think she feel like that cause Manila is very big and then capital city. And then before she lived small cities, that's why totally changed it. Totally different feeling, I guess.
Time when I went to an international school by grade 9, I suddenly started to think about the social environment of the Philippines, which was the enormous gap between the rich and the poor. I look at my right, I see shabby towns and children begging me for money in the streets. I look at my left, I see a fancy village with house gates as tall as the palm trees. I got confused. Also, being in this kind of environment made me ask fundamental questions about life. This was the time when I got interested about the Filipino society and started to study its history and culture more deeply. In 2018, I started my YouTube channel after completely quitting
2018 she started YouTube.
K-pop journey.
It's almost 3 years
I also
before.
got into the modeling industry in the Philippines. If you are curious on how I got my modeling journey started in the Philippines, please refer to this video over here. As I got into the
that's also very interesting. I will watch the video after see this.
modeling industry, and I also got to start my own YouTube channel. I was able to get several work opportunities where I learned not only even more deeply about the Filipino society and the culture, but
yes,
also
I also very interested about that Filipino society and then work in Philippines. So this story is very interesting to me. I also very wanted to go Philippines, work, and then if I can like do model work like her, this looks like very fun.
Life being at work in a professional manner. The beginning of my work life in the Philippines allowed me to immerse myself into the Filipino society even more. And at the same time, I also noticed myself getting more attached to the country because of how interesting the country was. You know, in terms of its history, its culture, the Filipino personality and all that. It was, I would say, one of the most unique countries.
Yes, that's why I also like Philippines culture, food, kind people. So that's why I also fascinated. That is right word. That's why I really like Philippines. Wanted to know more, wanted to search more, wanted to find information more, kind of that.
I know of. My high school life in my new home in the Philippines was indeed a memorable one. I was welcomed by another great community of people, experienced the ups and downs of my life again, but this time with such thing as consciousness, as I was no longer the foreign kid who knew nothing about the Philippines. One of the most memorable moments of my high school days is when I organized this mural project
that was
at
high
a local
school
village in the Philippines. You can check out the series if you like, and I recommend you to because it's my favorite content in my channel. By March of 2020,
Last year,
I finally
2020.
graduated my high school in the Philippines.
Ah,
At some
2020, she graduated high school in the Philippines. Oh, very young. Better than me. Wow.
point of my life in the Philippines, and also whenever I visited in Korea, I noticed myself considering the Philippines as my second home. By home, I mean a safe place that brings me comfort and a sense of belonging, a place of growth where I can learn to become a better version of myself, and perhaps where I could always return to my truest self. Whether I want the Philippines to be my second home or not, it will undeniably remain as my second home. And I also want it to be my home as well. Mostly because as how this video started, if someone comes to me and asks, when was the happiest moment of your life? I am immediately going to think of my time.
That is the first. What is the most happiest memories in your life? Oh.
In the Philippines, right? So this was a pretty much very summarized story of a young Korean girl who's been living in the Philippines for around half her life. I would like to thank you guys again for your love and support always. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!
Today I watched Growing Up in the Philippines as a Korean. That is so impressive to my mind. Like the last question, what is the most happiest moment in your life? For me, I think now is the most happiest moment in my life, cause 2020 summer vacation, my plan was canceled, cause my plan was just visit Philippines 1 or 2 months and then study there, travel there, make friends there. But it cancelled, so that's why I started YouTube channel to learn about more Philippines and then wanted to make Filipino friends. So that's why I tried to make my YouTube channel 2020 summer. Now I get a lot of loves to you guys. So I think this time is the most happiest in my life these days. And then when I do live streaming, they comes and then communicate with me. So that is very happiest these days. I also very thank you to you guys, and then I will try to keep learning Philippines and then try to find a way to visit there as soon as possible. And like her, I also, if I visit there, I will try to work as a model or like other work I will also try. So if I imagine that future, it makes me very excited. So that is very good future, I think. Today also, thank you for watching my video. Salamat po. See you again. Bye bye.